you like electronic music? It's all around us today, like the oxygen in the air we breathe, from the top of the pops to the oddest sounds of the underground. But from where and when did it originate? 1980s England? What about 1970s Germany? Could it be 1960s America? 1950s Canada, perhaps? Surely no earlier than 1940s Egypt. And yet, here we are. If you're interested in discovering exactly how deep this rabbit hole goes, tune into SynKult every other Tuesday from 10 to midnight for a vista of electronic sound from the field's pioneers to its current cutting edge, all placed in historical and cultural context by me, your guide, DJ Victor Alls. From musique concrète to minimal wave, space rock to speed garage, acid house to ambient, you'll find it all on SynKult. Good evening. As you probably surmised, I'm DJ Victor Alls and you're listening to SynKult. At time of writing, I've got 103 minutes of electronic music that I want to cram into what's meant to be a 119-minute long show file, so I'm going to keep my commentary noticeably briefer than usual. Cutting out material due to time constraints is a constant feature of my production workflow, and is always a bitter pill to swallow. Recently, I found myself listening through Rough Trade's Counterculture Best of 2004 compilation. For the uninitiated, since 2002, Rough Trade and Mute Records staff have been collaborating on these compilations that represent an eclectic, though by no means holistic or representative cross-section of the year's outsider sounds. The 2004 edition includes, amongst other things, a Coil deep cut, a tribute inclusion from Elliott Smith's final album, early tracks from Block Party and Animal Collective, and the first ever Shackleton single. It also includes the Two Lone Swordsmen remix of Throbbing Gristles United, initially the lead single on their 1978 third and final report, and probably the band's only sincere attempt at a pop record, one that could be belted out from the terraces of a football ground. This remix was reissued in 2023 on Mute Records. What I find notable about it is how Two Lone Swordsmen take the hissing, compressed low end in the original to a whole new level. The result is this overdriven secondary vibration, like what you'd hear from standing outside a woofer-studded car blasting trap music or techno. Hopefully this description makes more sense when you hear it for yourself. Oh, and the bed music you'll be hearing beneath my commentary for tonight's show is from Matthias Grassau and Thomas Weiss's 2009 ambient album Outland, not to be confused with the multi-volume Bill Laswell and Pete Namlook ambient project of the same name. You heard the Two Lone Swordsmen remix of United by Throbbing Gristle. The remix is from Rough Trade's Counterculture Best of 2004 compilation, but was reissued by Mute Records 2 years ago. The original is from Throbbing Gristle's 1978 third annual report. One more cut off of the Counterculture Best of 2004 compilation for tonight, a very cool dub deconstruction of the country rock song Stone Fox Chase from the Nashville band Area Code 615's 1970 album, A Trip in the Country. The band is most well known for this single, not because of the pop charts per se, but because it was used as the theme to the BBC's music program The Old Grey Whistle Test. I suspect this is why Maverick dub producer Adrian Sherwood and British blues harmonicist Alan Glenn decided to do a cover of it in 2004 titled Stone Fox Chase Harmonica Blowout Mix, which Rough Trade then picked up for the compilation where it's listed simply as Stone Fox Chase to be confusing.
Early one Tuesday morning, we all piled into the studio, and we had 2 hours in the studio because at the end of our session they were just about to break the studio down. I think it was Play School or something like that were moving in, so they needed the studio. We had this little sort of window of time, so we all went in there, and this was the result. One of the areas of music that we were beginning to explore in 1973 was the emerging reggae scene. The energy level was stunning throughout. The performance was absolutely sensational. We used to feature all different styles of music, from rock and roll to soul, but really kept him out of the music business for the best part of the next 3 years. Wonderful music selection coming up. piled into the studio and we had an absolutely wonderful time together. We enjoyed it so much that we all went in there, and this was the result.
That was the Stone Fox Chase harmonica blowout mix by Alan Glynn and Adrian Sherwood, dating from 2004. The original Stone Fox Chase is a single from the Nashville country rock band Area Code 615. I don't know what the spoken word layer is from the dub version, but an educated guess would probably be a taping of The Old Grey Whistle Test. This next track also has a sneaky American provenance, despite sounding every inch like Bristol trip-hop. This is thanks to the swaggering, stoned-out beatwork of Brooklyn-born, London-trained, and Los Angeles-based producer The Angel, and the gravelly patois, toasting courtesy of US-based UK-born MC Cockney O'Dyer, aka Navigator. The track in question is called Dark Days Inner Power, from The Angel's 2001 album No Gravity.
So many things me want, but I could not pretend to understand and comprehend. At the young tender age of 10, no follow the trend. Away you want defend, man, I live in a dream, reality prevail once again. Once again, in these dark days. Cause I got enough power. Cause I got enough power. Dark days. Enough power. Organize, utilize, live your life, civilize. Otherwise you are going up like a lot of bad guys. Never want recognize, them get hypnotized. Better synchronize, otherwise you are going to get lost. Once again, in these dark days, trying to find a way through. Hear this. Enough power. Cause I got enough power. Dark days. Enough power. Watch it. Cause I'm a run down money, the fame, the glory, pretty car, pretty face, and a bag of vanity. New style come out, them have to run go get it. You run go get a brainwash. Enough power. Cause I got enough power. Dark days. Enough power. When I live in a dream, reality prevail once again. So make we do the right thing with the little kids them. Cause I got enough power. Enough power. Enough power. Cause I got enough power. Real like a shower, roll like a flower, and stand like a tower. Your mouth taste sour, in the last hour. Fight so willpower or you will
get the power. Hear this, cause I know me a the dog and make the dog jam it all night long. The marathon man we run up on a vacation. Right on the rhythm, right on the version. You know say them ya yota at the pump action. Y'all get me happy with no distraction. Reality, cause I got
in a power,
cause I got
in a power.
You heard Dark Days Inner Power by The Angel from her 2001 hip-hop, or would it be trip-hop album, No Gravity. Following it up with a little bit of driving dub techno from Quantek's 2020 Moments EP. Rhythm and sounds, reggae excursions accepted, I find it can be difficult to do vocals well on dub techno. In other words, without it sounding hokey, but Quantek manages admirably on the track Momentum 1.
It's what they say.
You were listening to Momentum 1 by Quantek from his 2020 Moments EP. As stated earlier, one reason I like it is its use of vocals, something somewhat unusual in dub techno. Something similar is true of the British electronica duo Darkstar, who came of age within the creative groundswell that was UK dubstep, but was never truly of the movement. I pegged them as closer in tone and songwriting to the soulful sad boys of 80s synthpop, young men like John Fox and Gary Newman, or the cloying and hedonic musk that coats New Order and early The Human League. For instance, Darkstar's breakout tracks, Lily Liver and 80s Girl is a Computer from 2007 and 2009 respectively, were barely bass music, instead being what Mark Fisher referred to in a rave review as, quote, mournful vocoded machine funk, end quote, and Colin Shields, writing for Resident Advisor, identified as a possible blueprint for dubstep with a genuine pop appeal. It's unsurprising that by 2012, Darkstar jumped from Hyperdub to Warp Records, where they evidently felt more suited to their 21st century electropop, downtempo, and shoegaze instincts. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Here's another one of Darkstar's early tracks, Need You, from their 2008 Need You Squeeze My Lime EP. It's an immaculately produced number, with plaintive vocoding, fizzing synth leads, and a chattering two-step drum pattern that makes subtle use of the stereo field. As DJ Gazebo here on Freeform says, additional enrichment is available for those with access to headphones. Enjoy Need You by Darkstar. That was Need You by Darkstar from their lovely 2008 EP, Need You, Squeeze My Lime. And in case you're just tuning in, this is your host, DJ Victorals with SynKult, beaming to you from Freeform Portland, KFFPLP Portland, KFFDLP Beaverton. I'm keeping the commentary in this episode short and also speaking very quickly because there's a lot of music that I want to get through in a limited amount of time. So on to Gossip is the Devil's Radio from Low End Activists' 2023 EP of the same name.
It's a Nice World to Visit is the name of a radio show that is broadcast here on Freeform Portland every Saturday from noon to 2 p.m. with music selections made by amateur DJ and music enthusiast Jeff Ross. Tune in and you might hear some punk rock, some post-punk, some garage rock, some psychedelic music. Broadcast on 90.3, 98.3 FM, and streaming from the website freeformportland.org.
You heard Gossip is the Devil's Radio by Low End Activist from his 2023 EP, also titled Gossip is the Devil's Radio. Stirring stuff, drumming up audio specters with studio pressure, and more than you can drift a planchette to at that. The artwork also invites a paranormal interpretation, a dark and greasy stain left on a wall, like those left by sudden disappearances or vaporizations in ghost stories. This next piece has an eerie vibe to it too. Cowrie dub from Anka Agerzinkni's 2024 Yuku 046 EP. I believe they're Czech, so it explains why I'm mispronouncing their names. Sorry about that, you two. Wow, just wow. That was Kaori Dub by Janka and Kurzikni from their 2024 Yuku 046 EP. Japanese-inspired footwork dub? Regardless, incredible sound design, distorting and spatializing that massive sample. This is one of those listens that makes you fall in love with music all over again, or at least did so for me. Speaking of Japan, I had no idea that ragga jungle had penetrated Japanese markets enough by 1992 for domestic producers to start experimenting with the sound. Here's Snake Fingers from Denke Groove's 1992 album Karateka. If you ever wanted to hear two MCs ragga toasting in Japanese, oh boy, I've got the track for you. That was Snakefinger by Denki Groove from their 1992 album, Karateka. I listened to several of their albums after this song drifted down to me like manna from heaven, and the nutshell version is, which is unfortunately all we have time for tonight, that beginning in 1989, Denki Groove picked up where Yellow Magic Orchestra left off. Another exciting early export of the UK sound is next, a bombastic number called Champion Sound by High Lonesome Sound System. It's notable as they cut off the third record pressed by Exist Dance, the first record label of its kind in Los Angeles. Exist Dance co-founders Tom Chastain and Michael Candell started the label in a Skid Row industrial loft in 1991, inspired by the acid house sound filtering home from Ibiza in England via record import, and soon moved into promoting all dimensions of that UK sound: breakbeat hardcore, jungle, trip-hop, progressive trance, and so on. Still, I don't want to insinuate that the two East Coast transplant white boys from Cal Arts were the first in the City of Angels to brush with the dance-oriented electronic music, not by a long shot. Electro-funk acts like the Egyptian Lover, the Unknown DJ, and early Ice-T arrayed themselves under techno-hop records beginning in 1984. The city was also a hot market for early techno coming out of Detroit. In 1986, Juan Atkins and Eddie Fowlkes visited LA in a failed attempt to start a new record label. Fowlkes reminiscing about the experience in an old piece for Trax magazine that, quote, "You heard Juan's music everywhere. No UFOs and Technicolor completely blew up in California," end quote. And those two examples are just off the top of my head. I'm sure I'm missing plenty.
Come up, man! Come up, man! Come up, man! Now hear this! Come up, man! Then how much time you must hear if you come out of people premises with them little piece of bangarang where you can't come out? Talk about you have champion sound. Champion sound. Champion sound. Champion sound. Now hear this!
DJ Victor Alls, and this is SynKult, coming to you from Freeform Portland, KFFP-LP Portland, KFFD-LP Beaverton, and on the web at freeformportland.org. Now, back to the program. You heard Champion Sound by High Lonesome Sound System from their 1991 EP, Love Night, the third pressing on Los Angeles rave label, Exist Dance. Another interesting tidbit about Exist Dance is that their second pressing was Tranquility Base's They Came in Peace. Music journos and Mo Wax are calling it a primeval trip-hop record, and you know what, they're kinda right. Once again, this was 1991, the same year as Blue Lines hit shelves on the other side of the world. Those dates just don't add up. It's almost certainly an example of convergent evolution for Tranquility Base, an inspiration from Massive Attack's Blue Lines. It just goes to show that great man theory never holds up to close scrutiny. Next is a ragged bite of paranoid mutant industrial dub fusion, the Meat Beat Manifesto remix of Stop Begin Again by Eric Random, Stephen Melander, and Meat Beat Manifesto. The track emerges from the first volume of Electrodub, a compilation series put out by Austin-based anarchist-run indie label Emergency Hearts.
You will go to Mr. Morris Spiro, the first aid man, and he will furnish you with earplugs so as to keep you from having a headache. If he runs out of earplugs, he has got some cotton. You can use that. We have a detention room set up. Any person that you arrest or bring downstairs for ejection will be brought to room D. Is that understood? You will take the name, the addresses, and the telephone number. We will not allow any dancing, running up and down the aisle, or crowding up in front of the stage. Is that clear with everybody? Thanks.
That was the Meat Beat Manifesto remix of Stop Begin Again by Eric Random, Stephen Mullender, and Meat Beat Manifesto. It comes from the first volume of Emergency Heart's Electro Dub series, which was released in 2021. I have mixed feelings about this series as a whole, actually. On the one hand, nearly every track is terrific in no small part due to the effort of luminaries like Adrian Sherwood, Meat Beat Manifesto, Lee Perry, and the late Mark Stewart, who frequently grace the track listings. On the other hand, all these fantastic tracks sound rather similar. This stands in contrast to Virgin's extraordinarily capacious 2-volume Macrodub Infection series from the mid-1990s compiled by Kevin Martin, which, 30 years later, I still think stands as the high watermark for a survey of dub fusion. If you want to contest that claim with a new contestant, please hit up my inbox because I love dub fusion like a drowning man loves life preservers. Next, for a piece of non-fusional dub, Chill Out from Gregory Isaacs' 1978 classic, Slum and Dub. That was Chill Out by Gregory Isaacs from his 1978 dub classic Slum and Dub. Switching gears a bit to a very early piece by the visionary Scottish-Canadian animator and composer Norman McLaren, who began making electronic music in the mid-1940s when he realized the glue of spliced film reels produced sound as it passed through his equipment. Over years of refinement, he created a series of cards to correspond to 8 octaves of musical notes, frequency by frequency, and to recruit these cards to compose his soundtracks. One such early experiment is a nameless, unreleased composition dating from 1945, unreleased that is until Arithmetic, the compositions of Norman McLaren, dropped last year. Hear it for yourself.
Subculture Subcultural Wallpaper brings you selections from the history of electroacoustic music, non-traditional songwriting forms, and other strange stuff. The top of Hour 2 features the Subcultural Wallpaper Instant Remix Transformative Audio Collage. The balance of Hour 2 is open format, covering a variety of genres. Please join me, DJ Gazebo, for Subcultural Wallpaper, every other Wednesday from 2 to 4 a.m. on Freeform Portland.
You heard unreleased composition from 1945 by Norman McLaren, sourced from Rhythmetic, the compositions of Norman McLaren put out just last year. While not the first electronic musician, contrary to Milton Babbitt's claim, Norman McLaren's work as an audio pioneer at the National Film Board of Canada has been overshadowed by his legacy as a filmmaker and animator. You'll also notice that the piece you heard has a melodic orientation owing to its public-facing nature and not being a serialist etude put together by a serious academic composer, as with many early electronic experiments. Also, just so you know, Norman McLaren was a gay communist. Based alert. Another piece of electroacoustic music is next, a late work by Pierre Henry titled Gouffre Circulaire from his 2003 album Labyrinth. That was Gouffre Circulaire by Pierre Henry from his album Labyrinth, commissioned by Radio France in 2003. If you don't know Pierre Henry, yes, you do. His piece Psyche Rock, composed in 1967, is the Futurama opening theme. I've got some industrial next from the British experimental musician and multimedia artist Richard H. Kirk. Kirk was a co-founder of Cabaret Voltaire and actually made bleep techno in 1989 and 1990 under his Sweet Exorcist alias. This is from his first solo album, Disposable Half-Truths, and is titled Information Therapy. Information Therapy by Richard H. Kirk from his 1980 album Disposable Half-Truths. Though Kirk had a prolific solo output, he's best known as frontman for Cabaret Voltaire and his bleep techno project Sweet Exorcist, whose EP Test Tone was the first record pressed by Warp Records back in 1989. Fun fact. A little more industrial is next, now pulled from Femirama, a compilation featuring women in industrial, minimal wave, and electroacoustic music. Femirana was originally released in 1986 on the defunct Spanish independent label Auxilio de Cientos. In 2023, it was reissued and remastered by Munster Records. The sleeve reads in Spanish, quote, "A different perspective of women's music!" Exclamation mark. This is the sort of stuff you'd only be able to find in the day through global cassette networks and weird specialty record stores in major cities' art districts. I'm glad we have Discogs and Soulseek nowadays. Here's No More Drugs by New York-based musician and art punk dilettante Tara Cross.
No dream. Too much of one thing can make you sick, love. Your life, from my experience, is full of drugs, love. No more. No more drugs. That's not what life is really made of.
That was No More Drugs by Tara Cross from the 1986 compilation Femirama. Last summer I visited the Faroe Islands with my folks. The archipelago is most well known internationally for its jazz scene. While I was in the Faroese capital of Tórshavn, they were actually setting up for the annual Tórshavn Jazz Festival. While exploring the capital, I dropped by the Two Tool record store one afternoon to get a lowdown on the archipelago's electronic music scene. The record shop heavily skews towards guitar music, like most do, but the friendly and knowledgeable employees had several recommendations for me. Here they are back to back: Atstressa by Supervision and N176 by Orca, both from 2023. You just heard two dispatches from the contemporary Faroese electronic music scene. In 17.6 by Orca, and before that was At Stresse by Supervision, both from 2023. If I remember what the employees over at Tutol Records told me, Supervision is a husband-wife team. The wife writes spoken word poetry in Faroese, and the husband chops it into fragments which are layered into their IDM. Sort of like a Scandinavian Lena Platonos, if you will. Next is a piece of contemporary anime-inspired digital hardcore sent to me by my buddy John, who has a far superior handle on this kind of music than I do. Alice Sketch and the Magic Orchestra is a Japanese duo who writes all their lyrics in a bespoke conlang they call Elysian. Here's Endorphin from their 2021 album Sketch. That was Endorphin by Alex Sketch and the Magic Orchestra from their 2021 album Sketch. I'm always happy to highlight this sort of music when my buddy John sends it my way. It's a region of the contemporary bleeding edge that I don't really know much about. Let's close out the night with a contemporary classic, the other Endorphin off of Burial's Untrue. Thanks for tuning into SynKult this fine evening, and sorry for speaking so quickly this time around. I swear it's not usually like this. This has been me, your host, DJ Victorals. Please enjoy, and good night.